Ercoupe is a low-wing monoplane aircraft designed and built in the United States. It was first manufactured by the Engineering Research Corporation in 1939. It was designed to be the safest fixed-wing aircraft that aerospace engineering could provide at the time, and the aircraft type continues to enjoy a faithful following. Flysimware designs our models to simulate 360 degrees in a 3D environment just as you would experience in a real-world aircraft. These models are tested by Flysimware's beta team, and our team uses real-world physics to give you true flight experience. Our first section of the aircraft checklist is entering the cockpit. To open or close windows, click the Windows handrail. We have included 3 2D light switches for nighttime use, located in our virtual hangar control panel. This way you can turn on the instrument panel lights, recognition lights, or even the rear cabin light to find your way around the cockpit. Our next section of the aircraft's checklist is starting engine. Turn on the battery switch. Make sure the mixture is set to full rich. Open the throttle control 1 inch. Ercoupes automatically set the carburetor heat when the throttle control lever is set to idle. Turn on the fuel switch. Set ignition switch to both mags. Push the starter button and release the parking brakes. Next section of our aircraft checklist is warm up and ground test. To warm up, increase engine's power to 1000 RPM. While you wait for oil temperature to reach 50 to 60 Celsius, you can check your radio equipment. Now increase engine's power up to 1800 RPM and perform a mag check. Next, check the amp meter to ensure you have sufficient amperage. Check oil pressure for 40 psi and check that the oil temperature is above 50 degrees Celsius. Our next section of the aircraft checklist is before takeoff. Set elevator trim to 0 and check that the flight controls are free and correct. Check that the fuel level is full. Toggle landing lights on. Check radios and avionics. Our next section of the aircraft's checklist is takeoff. Set throttle lever to full open, set mixture lever to full rich, and above 3,000 feet lean to obtain maximum RPM. Lift nose at 60 knots and keep airspeed between 75 and 85 knots. Section of the aircraft's checklist is climb. During climb, keep the airspeed around 80 knots with the throttle lever fully open. If needed, lean the mixture lever to obtain maximum RPM. Section of the aircraft checklist is cruise. Keep the engine power between 2100 and 2600 RPM. Adjust elevator trim as necessary and lean the mixture if needed. Next section of the aircraft checklist is approach and landing. Set engine power to desired RPM, lean mixture if needed, and check that the landing lights are on. Our next section of the aircraft's checklist is landing. Keep airspeed between 65 and 75 knots. Touch down main wheels first, then gently lower the nose wheel, and brake with minimum effort.